strong people, Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, and today I have some starting boxing news. The sport of strongman has been taken over by boxing with the news of the great Eddie Hall taking on the Mountain, Thor Bjornsson, upcoming in September of this year. Thor had his first exhibition fight. It was 3 rounds against Stephen Ward, a pro boxer with I believe a 14-1 record with 4 knockouts. No chump. This was a 3-round exhibition fight, and it's kind of interesting because people are like, oh, Thor looks terrible. He looks this. I'm like, okay, he's been training boxing for 6 months. 6 months ago, he deadlifted 1,102 pounds to break Eddie Hall's record and then called him out to do a boxing match. Like a year, and everyone's like, oh, cool. And then they're like, yeah, it's going to be in a year and a half. Thankfully, that was kind of good from pandemic reasons, because Las Vegas will probably be okay to do it come September. But here's some of my thoughts on the boxing match, considering I'm such an expert at boxing and breaking it down. So, a couple of things to consider. The full fight between Thor Bjornsson and Eddie Hall is going to be 6 rounds. This fight was only 3. I believe that's 6 3-minute rounds compared to 3 3-minute rounds. What is the point of an exhibition fight? I believe this is one of 3 fights that Thor has planned before he takes on Eddie Hall. And the main thing I've noticed between watching a little bit of Eddie Hall and Thor Bjornsson's just social media and overall training is that Thor looks drastically different. He weighed in at 158 kilograms, which is about a little over 340 pounds. Well, Eddie Hall looks leaner. He looks about the same as he did 6 months ago. Of course, he already lost a good amount of weight when he was about 430 pounds and is down to 360-ish, I think, after competing in strongman. You know, lean, everything, but he still looks, you know, like a meathead, like a gym rat, like a bodybuilder, kind of. Like a big one. Where Thor, he's looking closer to his basketball days. It's hard to think that at 6'9", 340 pounds, Thor looks small, but he does because we've known him to be 450 pounds. So when you can lose 110 pounds, you look smaller, because everyone thinks of you this way, and now you look that way. I think he looks a lot healthier. Glad he does. Well, I don't think Thor's been doing much, if any, real barbell training. Looks like he's doing a lot of sparring. We've seen pictures of him with black eyes, bloody noses. He's getting hit back. On Eddie's side, apparently he has more of a boxing background, and people keep bringing up that he grew up in a harsh part of England, so he has from the streets. He did some sort of celebrity boxing match in 2012, where if you look at it up on YouTube, didn't look much better than Thor did. I think, you know, so this is one of 3 exhibition fights, 3 rounds. The point of it is to go and just get ready to the pace, get used to going in the ring, and see what you need to work on. It's kind of like if you do powerlifting, a mock meet. You get used to the commands. It's, you know, it's different than just lifting in your garage, where some people say that's what Thor did to set his deadlift world record. Hashtag asterisk. Can you hashtag an asterisk? But it looks like Thor is taking from what I've gathered from talking to people that actually know about boxing, a more methodological and actual boxing approach, where Eddie seems to be punching people and lifting things. But is any of that going to matter? I don't know. I'm just someone talking into my camera and doing this instead of covering strongman, because there's nothing to cover in strongman. So my thought, Thor looked a little timid. His footwork looked good. He moved at some angles. Boss Rutten seems impressed, and I've heard Boss call a lot of fights. He does not pull punches. It seems like you have an expectation. This is a guy who's been deadlifting and picking up stones for, you know, the past 15 years or whatever, and now he has 6 months of boxing training, and against a professional fighter, Boss Rutten and the rest of the commentators seemed mildly impressed. It looked like through The first round, halfway through, he was really swinging wild, and a little more. He started to loosen up a little bit, looked a lot better midway through the second half of the first. He looked a lot better, and then they just looked sloppy in the first half, and he tightened up. Not saying they look great in the second half, but Thor took some good shots. He dropped Stephen Ward. He just kind of like pushed him. It was like a punch that went like this into his lap and just kind of pushed him down. Looked more like a shove than a punch, but I think Stephen Ward's about 212 pounds compared, so he has 130-ish pounds on the guy. So he just kind of pushed him down. Probably can't do the same with Eddie, but I don't think Eddie can move at the same kind of angles and in and out like Stephen Ward did either. But he took some good shots. It didn't look like Stephen Ward was pulling too much. Of course, he's not going 100%. This is an exhibition fight. It's a tune-up fight. That's the point. And it's really hard to say, and then by the third, he started to look a little tired, but he looked a lot less tired than I thought he would for 3 rounds. I think when it comes to the actual fight night, because this is just kind of for fun, this exhibition fight and the upcoming ones, he's not going to be able to keep a pace as good. I don't think either guy is. Apparently they don't like each other, so they say. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to, stay as calm, probably be a little bit more wild. But that's why you have these tune-up fights, so you can go back and even if you get all amped up, you go back to what you're training and you're more used to it and it's more routine. Where it doesn't seem like Eddie is doing that. And we can't really compare how Thor is going to do to Eddie because all of Eddie's clips are his own YouTube channel, his own, edited videos of him hitting crap out of guys. Don't see much of him getting hit back. Maybe he's that good. 2012 fight, which I'm sure he's improved from, he kind of looked the same as Thor, just kind of muscling around. Thor he has better footwork. Seems like, he has a lot more boxing experience. His punches look a lot crisper. Thor kind of moves at the shoulder. But I'm going to say if, they only have this much time, it's going to come down to who has the best conditioning, cardio, and who's the most comfortable in the ring. And even with Eddie's past boxing experience, if Thor's actually going about this the right way, he's not squatting 700 plus pounds and benching 500 because that has little to nothing to do with boxing. Once you're as strong as they are, getting any stronger is going to be doesn't matter. Seems like Thor is taking how a boxer would train him more. And with that, I think he's preparing better, and I think that's what's going to give Hafthor Bjornsson the win over Eddie Hall come September. You can watch the video up on Hafthor Bjornsson's YouTube page. Core Sports is putting all this on. It's going to be in Vegas. They also unveiled that they're going to be doing a strong man and strong woman contest the day before. Maybe I'll be there, and maybe I'll pick someone to fight. I'm Kalle Beck. Thanks for watching.